Hey, community, here's what's brewing today.
Madonna Celebration Tour.
Why go man white?
I don't know, but the Australian Open. So get your cups ready for Minority Report. I knew I wasn't going to be able to.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Look.
Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntie Carell.
It's Auntie Dwan.
And it's Auntie Jarrell.
Hey, ladies, hey. And I just saw Dwan, so it's just like, hey, boo, good to see you again, boo.
Right. She said this whole thing.
This whole thing, right? I know.
Man. We had a full house.
Like, I was jealous.
I ain't gonna lie, when you were like, Carell, when you were like, hey, boo, I was like, this should have been a private video sent to me because that's who was meant for. I already knew. I was like, oh, they just couldn't text me saying, hey, boo. They had to put it on the story of Minority Report being like, Michelle has left the chat. Like,
you know, hey, we need content out there, so it was just an easy content moment. And it was just random because, like, I saw our other friend Jarrell. I was like, oh, she ain't even said she was out in New York this weekend. I ain't got shit going on. It's the long Martin Luther King weekend. Shit, I could be in the city too. All that neck row was going. And so I originally I went to, and I'll maybe get to that part too. I went to MAL in DC for one day to try to meet up with Smithy, and we'll get to that
really?
part.
Oh, really?
Right? Yeah, I know, right? But then, so like literally woke up that Sunday and Corey was like, oh, I have a long day at work and we're doing like a group thing after, like a bowling thing. And I was like, well, he ain't even gonna be home till late. So I was like, you know what? And it was literally like 10 a.m. Still in Philly.
She said,
hadn't even showered yet. And I text Jarrell. I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing today? He's like, oh, I think Dewan and them are gonna do brunch, like da. So I called Dewan. I was like, hey, what you doing?
Didn't even get the words out. I said, right. Come on over, bitch.
He's like, well, we got brunch at 12:30. And I'm looking at the time. I'm like, dang, that's going to be cutting it tight, but I'm going to try. So literally, I hopped in the shower real quick and tried to get there. And they couldn't add me to the reservation, but it was perfect because, like, by the time I got in the city, it would have been too late to get there anyway. So it was so spur of the moment, random, and just had a little kiki time. So it was fun.
I love not being on COVID lockdown because stuff like this can actually happen. Like, Jarrell, don't be feeling all like, you know, like you missed out on a lot because I'm gonna see your ass in 3 weeks.
Let me tell you, I was just about to say this. I appreciate the Auntie Dwan multitasking. She's like, I'm with Carell and I'm still sending Jarrell right now the Airbnb information at the same time. I was like, she was still thinking about me even though I wasn't there.
Absolutely.
I know, like she was like showing me her travel stuff for the year. I was like, oh, she about to see Jarrell anyway. Like
she be all right.
Her travel. I'm jealous of Dewan's travel schedule this year. I'm like, damn.
Look, I'm trying to go diamond. I am trying to go diamond. It's going to happen this year.
I bet, girl. Literally just by June, girl. Easily.
From your lips, from your booty hole to God's ears.
Girl, let me tell you, when you were like, oh, has the Minority Report calendar gone? I was like, no, bitch, I see it because I still see your stuff all on my calendar.
Schedule, right.
I'm like, oh, we going to Paris, huh? Oh, wow. Look.
Oh, we're going to San Diego. We're going to Vegas. Oh, we're going to here. We're going to Palm Springs. I was like, girl, damn.
What you paying rent for?
Honey, if I didn't have to and I could just be on the road 100% of the time, that's what I would love to do.
I know that's right. That would be
so fire.
I could be on the road forever. I ain't got to have none of this shit. Just give me 2 t-shirts
and her Barbie doll.
Barbie and everything gone.
Look.
She got her little suitcase. I got my little suitcase.
I love how your phone was paying attention to the last episode because literally right after you posted out that little thing about the Barbies, and I was like, phone was listening.
More Barbies.
Literally more Barbies.
More Barbies, more Barbies, more Barbies.
And for those who don't know what we're talking about, listen to last week's episode. It's
Yes,
towards the end
please.
of the episode. It's yeah.
While you're at it, subscribe and hit the bell button if you're watching on YouTube. We're trying to get our numbers up in 2023. Come on now. We got to get to 1K on YouTube subscriptions. That's the goal for at least the first half. I think we can do it. So if you have not subscribed, take a moment. We'll give you a moment to pause. Come on. Come on.
No.
There you go. You hit the button. That's all it took. That's all it took. Help your aunties out, bitch.
Can we? Okay, an interesting. I know this wasn't part of like our list of things to talk about, but since
always happens,
since we kind of touched on, the weekend, there was a topic that came up around a strange loop. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Okay, so a friend of ours that is not part of the Black community went to go see a strange loop, and so and they went to go see that. He and his partner went to go see that. I think just earlier in the week or something like that.
Yeah, like the day before it closed, I think.
At any rate, we were just comparing notes about experiences, and this one individual, and I'm because I don't want to put their business all out there.
I ain't gonna say no name.
Because I was about to ask. I was about to buy a vowel for a second, bitch. But
it wasn't Jarrell.
And there was no one in the photos you saw on Instagram because they were there earlier.
No.
Okay. Look, I know it wasn't Jarrell because I already knew Jarrell already knows.
So, but one of the things that they were saying was that they were kind of taken aback at how many times the N-word was being used throughout the whole
they were white
thing. Well. And anyway, they were. I'm
over here playing the guess.
They were not.
I feel like guess who? Does the bitch wear glasses? I'm trying to figure it out.
But the wild thing of it was, up until this individual said this, I hadn't even thought about the use of that word at all because it's so part of the Black vernacular, and it made me realize that this was kind of a reverse experiment. Because the majority of the times you see plays on Broadway or whatever, that are centered around Black culture, it's been sanitized a lot for predominantly white audiences. Right. But this one is not. This is biggity Black all the way, even down to, when you need an exclamation point at the end of your sentence, you're going to say, nigga. And so it didn't even dawn on me how that is being perceived by people who are woke and, but are not part of the Black community, and having that word being so prevalent as part of the dialogue. And, I had to break it down for them,
nigga, please.
Pretty much. Because if you would have saw the water eyes faces and our body language, we were sitting there
And I said, welcome to our world, because there are times that we are very uncomfortable with the shit y'all be saying. So
yeah. And that's what he said. He said it made him so uncomfortable that it was just used so prevalently. And I said, dang, the funny thing is, I don't even recall them really saying it. So it was so ingrained.
He was relaxed, bitch.
I had to sit there and think. I was like, did they even? I'm sure they did, but was it that prevalent that it was that uncomfortable for everybody else? So I agreed on it. It was like a moment, and it happens very rarely, where you're just like, oh shit, we the majority, we the privileged, bitch. Because his perspective was just completely different than how I took that show in.
Yeah.
And the conversations we've had on this podcast, the conversations we've had outside the podcast of this particular show. And he, you could tell he was it was palatable how uncomfortable the show was, to the point where I don't think he enjoyed it and was able to take in what the show was really talking about and the meaning of the show.
A person can't call themselves woke if they are that so disturbed about hearing someone say nigga that you can't see the bigger picture. If that's the one thing that you get so hung up on that you forget everything else that's happening, you aren't as woke as you say you are.
And that's the truth. And let's be clear, this person is not wearing a woke badge. Okay, so let's just be clear. They are not one of these ones that are I'm down for the people and da 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 da. No, they're very much inclusive.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, this can't be no friend,
but not militant woke. Some of them out there, that be doing the steps. but not really believing in the action. So
Got you.
I get the sentiment of I'm not really comfortable with that word being used, and I had to break it down like, well, you don't have to be comfortable because it's not said by you and it is not for you. So just because you were in earshot of hearing this doesn't necessarily mean that it was for you. But what I recognized from that was people who are, let me take one step back. People who are Black understood the assignment when it was delivered, because as the show was going on, there were so many cultural references that if you have not grown up in a Black household, period,
or at least like
point,
in that community,
then you're experiencing this play from a completely different dynamic, and so much of what's being said and the visuals around what's being said is going way over your head.
Okay.
You don't even.
That was
get
probably
what's
the only
going
thing
on.
he could understand
was that stuff up there.
That part.
That stuff.
That's probably the only thing. Look, I'm surprised you didn't say, well, if you can sit on it, you can sit in it.
Damn, I don't even know if he's sitting on it, low key.
No.
Wow. Then it makes sense. Then it definitely makes sense.
And I don't even want to throw this person on the bus because I don't even know them like that. Like Dewan knows them way better than I. And it wasn't like the conversation was like from like a malicious standpoint.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing the person.
But yeah, it was just interesting. It was just interesting to look at Dewan, and I'm sure he was looking at me. He was like, "Bitch, it don't matter. It does not matter."
But it does.
This
Like,
is kind enough to give you a reasoning.
She said, "Fubu, this was for us, by us." At the end of the day, so
right.
Oh, that's how you felt. So it wasn't even meant for you.
It just glad you went and saw it and give them your money. Thank you.
Yeah,
it just shined a light on how many colloquialisms and just cultural.
Come on, word of the day. That's the first one of the year.
About 2023, the word of January is colloquialism.
Colloquialism.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not.
You missed a syllable, girl.
And that's why I was not about to even say it, because I was like, ism.
The isms.
But there's just a lot of stuff that's baked into our culture that is, if you haven't lived it, then you can't really receive it. And it just, that show has to be so boring for somebody who doesn't get like our culture.
That's how I guess we feel when we see like Friends and Seinfeld and shit.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
I guess that's how they be acting.
You mean shows that I didn't watch?
Same here.
I already knew wasn't gonna do it.
But even like like the cast even says like when they've had a few like Black nights or queer nights or whatever. And we were at the first one that they did, which was Black and queer. But they said that they had kind of like, I can't remember the exact word, but it was like they got they were less motivated on the regular. And it wasn't until that first Black queer night that Carell and I and Landon had went to, where like you should have heard the crowd. I mean, just cackling and running up the aisles and standing up and stomping and
you knew when to participate, because we've been like, there's like church scenes when to clap, you knew when to there's just stuff that like, again, like me not even hearing them say a nigga like that, your DNA just knows to do.
Right.
Yeah.
that is just second nature, that you don't even hear it or understand why you're doing it. You just know to do it, and it's cool, and it's
that's like a roll call. You just everyone get information. You just know
exactly.
You know your lines. You know
exactly. So that like if you did not grow up in that atmosphere, you just like, bitch, I don't miss my cue. Where was the cue cards at? Where are my background singers? Like shit.
Yeah,
and if you haven't like seen it, the show unfortunately is done. The last show was January 15th, but go back to episode 199. We had Jason Vesey from that show on this on Minority Report, and it was a great conversation, really, just to kind of to get a small peek behind the curtain of what it was to put that show on and be in that show. So that was one of my favorite episodes of last year. And they came in right at the end. I loved it.
Yeah, and honestly, if which most of you listening probably haven't had an opportunity to listen, or watch if you haven't been in New York in the last year and a half or whatever. But it's available on iTunes, so you can literally listen to the whole thing. You won't get all the visuals and whatnot, but you can hear the lyrics and whatnot.
Yeah, and they are nominated for a Grammy too.
Yes. So that's coming up here in February.
As they should.
So,
yes.
Oh, I hope they all show up and show out.
Wouldn't that be so dope? Yeah.
Hey, so one last little gathering for them. But yeah, I agree. That was a good, interesting conversation. But I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to see Dewan and I's faces.
Oh, man.
Because I was like, girl, really, girl?
It just makes you wonder how boring them other nights were when they didn't have all the black people in the crowd, because
they was trooping through it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Let's see here. We're even going there. Like
I was gonna say, I want to go based off of your hat, because you wearing the U.S. Open hat. And the Australian Open is going on right now.
Yeah.
And Miss Naomi Osaka announced that she is having her first baby.
Yeah. I was really wondering because like that maybe the week or two before, she was doing kind of like a little press run for, I forget what it was for. And I was like, either she a little out of shape going into the Australian Open, or she might be knocked up. But I was like, okay, whatever. It's her life. I'm eating good too, girl.
It was the holiday season, so.
And sure enough, 2 weeks later, she was pregnant. So I was like, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, I'm really excited for her, because you don't see a lot of women tennis players having babies so early in their career. You know, they're normally waiting until like they're towards the end of their 20s to really start having kids. And when is she's 23?
5, I think.
25? Okay, yeah. So, you know, she still has a lot more in her. And I love the fact that she's like, I want my baby to be able to see me and be like, that's my mommy playing right there. Like, want to experience her playing. And I think it's great to start having conversations, especially for women who have to give up so much just to have a child, you know, like from careers to just regular things in life that they have to give up to sacrifice being mothers. And so I really like this narrative of seeing celebrities being like, you know, I want it all. I want to do both. I want to have the family and still have the career and stuff like that too. So
and willing to put the work in to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. And too, with the whole, and also with her being an advocate of mental health too. Like this is just another thing showing that she is really investing in who she is as a person, as a woman, you know, as an athlete. And she's really, you know, she's really putting herself first. And it makes me happy to see someone do that.
Absolutely. It's really exciting to see the doors that Serena and Venus have opened for, you know, athletes like Naomi, you know, in all aspects of their careers, in terms of how they play sports, being the blueprint for what, you know, what success looks like, having the courage to step away when you're ready to step away, having the courage to be able to have a baby when you want to have a baby, and know that you can come back and have a very long, successful career for however long you want it. Like, these are all things that I feel like we're fortunate enough where we are living at a time where we could fully appreciate what the blueprint was, that was the legacy of Serena and Venus for all these women that are coming into these sports.
And I think it's probably going to give her a new grounding of wanting to play again. I think she was kind of lost a little bit there, like, why the hell am I even playing? I think now her motivation will be, I want my kid to see me play, be successful, and show that they could be on whatever scale of whatever their career is, be successful. And I think once she comes back, we might get that Naomi 2.0, and she might go on another little run.
I 100% agree with you on that. And I can see her doing, like, all the pressure that was put on her previously will come to fruition because of the baby, honestly. But, you know, I will say, watching the Australian Open, it's crazy to see how hard it is to get back into tennis shape after an injury, get alone a damn baby. Like, I couldn't even imagine. Shout out to Taylor Townsend, who won her first Grand Slam single, you know, since having her baby.
Great.
Yes, 100%. I'm like,
okay,
I see you.
Honey.
But I mean, like, it's just crazy. Like, I was watching, like, friend Dominic Thiem play
And that fat
Medvedev.
ass. Oh, my bad.
He was looking thick. I was like,
Honey.
hey, Dom.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it's just
that
like,
yeah,
but I mean,
that-
so many players who it's crazy. There have been so many like top 10
Yeah.
men, for instance, and I see this really
Yeah.
more on the men's side.
yeah.
But like, Zverev, Stan Wawrinka,
Yeah.
Dominic Thiem, like all these, like they were in
People
the
that
top
have won
5
Grand Slams. Yeah. Yeah.
and have an injury, and they just fall all the way
My
out,
bitch.
all the way out,
Which
all
makes
the way
me
out.
appreciate Rafa Nadal even more. This
Yeah.
motherfucker done tore abdominal muscles. He done had knee replacements, and this dude is still out. Like,
Still good out
he's
there.
just different.
Look, I ain't gonna lie.
Rafa's just
I stayed up late watching Andy Murray, and I was like, man, this dude is huffing and puffing. He is.
Honey.
He was hobbling back to go serve. I
He got that
said,
bionic hip.
look,
Andy Murray.
I was like, my goodness.
Playing Berrettini, another one.
I know he is so fine. He is a fine Italian man.
That's a man. That's an old ass man.
Mm-hmm.
But it's making me realize this is the first Grand Slam now, because Venus pulled out. She had gotten the wild card acceptance and pulled out.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first Grand Slam that's like really the changing of the guards without the Williams sisters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm Team Coco. I got to root for Coco, and
absolutely.
Madison and hey, even Pagula.
I'm rooting for Pagula too.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like you would think being a billionaire's daughter, because
she has some advantage.
The Buffalo Bills and the Sabres, I think, or whatever.
Yeah.
And she out here grinding and working hard and
she making her name for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I'm impressed of.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess I gotta put all my energy, God, not injury, energy behind Coco now. Because I'm like, if I want to watch tennis and be the way I was watching the last 20 years, I gotta find somebody.
I still believe Coco has another gear. She's still very much.
She's only 18.
Yes, but here's the thing I was gonna say though. Like, you can still see her very technical, like team mechanics when she go to swing.
Yes.
The moment she loses, and it's just very, which I mean I get, but the moment I think she just dives into just like I'm just gonna fucking play, and she gets out of here, she's gonna be good because she reminds me a lot of Venus, of Venus play.
Yep.
But all I know is. So I will be in Paris during the French Open, and bitch is gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure that I get me some tickets. I'm gonna go.
Yes, absolutely. I want to go. Because I hear it's like a very intimate setting. Like they say, it's like the grounds are super small.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get to Paris to see that too.
I am gonna make it happen. So I literally told Fizz, I was like, bitch, we're gonna be there for 15 days. I can get a day. I can have a day at the French Open. I'm gonna have my day. You can go to your museum.
That's right. Well, you might need 14 of them days just to get through the Louvre. The Louvre
I had
so
literally.
massive.
We were having a talk, and I was like, "Let me tell you, we're gonna have to do like one day for one like big attraction. We're not doing a day where we squeezing in all these things. I'm expecting lines. I'm expecting lines. I'm expecting wait times and all this stuff. So it's gonna be like a day dedicated to just this one thing.
Yeah, like the Louvre is like city blocks.
Yeah,
it's not just like a big like building. It's blocks.
Yep. Okay. And floors.
Right. And like it's so mad. Like I couldn't grasp it until I got there. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And how did they build this back then? Like it's insanity.
I don't even know I don't know what the Louvre even looks like outside of that little little
pyramid.
Yeah. And literally, I was like, it's that big? It can't be just that big. But
you're gonna get up there, you're gonna be like,
honey,
oh bitch.
And that, by the way, that pyramid is a skylight.
And that's a
skylight.
That's my thing.
Right.
That's my thing. So that's how I was like. So that's how I was like, as I was saying, I was like, oh, so that can't be all of it. Like in this moment,
not the Apple Cube in Paris.
Right. It's not the Apple Store, girl.
Girl.
They ain't got the Genius Bar, girl.
Girl, literally, I just connected the dots. I was like, okay, so this is bigger than what I was expecting. Okay.
It's massive.
It is massive.
It's insane.
And honestly, like as you travel abroad, my best advice is treat it as if you're going to be coming back on a regular. That way you don't have the pressure of trying to see everything. And even if you're there for 15 days goes by like that.
Yes.
It really does. And you can tire yourself out trying to like squeeze everything in. But once you treat it like, okay, you know what? I'm going to pick out 8 things over the next 15 days that are like must-dos, absolute must-dos. And then anything else on top of that becomes extra.
Just
your life becomes a lot easier.
Yeah.
Well, the truth is, we're only going to be like in actual Paris for like 7 days. Like his godmom, like owns a castle like an hour outside of Paris, so we're going to spend like 3. Bitch, he was like, we would have to go. I was like, bitch, we don't see niggas in castles. You damn right, I want to be in a goddamn castle. Like you don't understand. Like Disney didn't show me this. Okay, like. We gonna be in a castle.
That's when you gotta get them bundles and be like Rapunzel. Wait, what's the hood name of Rapunzel? Because Rapunzel already kind of hood.
Ranisha.
Let down your bundles.
Right. Yeah. So we'll do that for like 3 days, 3 or 4 days, and then we're gonna go down to Marseille, and then like see like Saint-Tropez for a day, see Nice for a day, like do southern parts of France. So. And
how are your French lessons? Comment allez-vous? Et pas français, un petit?
She said, who sang that? Patti LaBelle?
Look, okay.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? You know that, bitch.
No, they have not been good because last week was just I was telling Carell about it off, but last week was just rough. McGruff. So she ain't had no time for any of that. But I finally just got myself back together where I'm not stressing. I'm not having. It's
just in the day.
It's look. I
ain't
stressing the day.
Hey. So I know we kind of just went off script though. We do got to talk about this because it was kind of a big hoopla thing on IG this past week. So and I forget the name of her show, Claudia Johnson on that Fox Soul show. Oh, TGIF, I think is the name of it. They were talking about it's like her and Al Reynolds. Remember Al Reynolds, like Star Jones's ex-husband? That's gay.
Her, yes, her.
And I think the other guy name is like Funky Deneva or something like that. We're talking about how, and let me get this man's name right too. Eric Russell. He became the second Black gay man to be elected as a statewide official in the United States. And they're just talking about like, hey, they're like, yeah, Black brother getting elected. Yeah, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. And then when he got sworn in, they saw his white husband. And so it was this big hoopla going on saying, why is it that every time there's a successful Black person, they marry a white person? And they were kind of just going back and forth saying, like, is it okay for him to be with a white partner? Is it not okay? And all this stuff. Like, it was crazy. And like the comments that's where it really showed, like, the comments were insanity. The hosts were like, okay, given their, like, their 2 cents or whatever. It was the comments where people were really chiming in about how it's not okay and it's so deep rooted that, like, you're trying to assimilate and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my God. So then, of course, the community had sent the clips in the DMs. So we're like, okay, I guess we need to talk about it again. Because we talk about it consistently. It's our lives. So it's always talked about throughout the history of our podcast. But for this to be up, and that is such an issue, and that is such an issue thinking that the Black people that are marrying white folks don't want to be Black and are trying to assimilate the white culture and all this stuff is so wild to me, because that's not it at all. It's like you literally fall in love with who you fall in love with. It's not like you just went out, I'm only dating white people. Like, that's it. I ain't dating nobody. That's not what
there are those that are out. There are those that are out there.
Yeah,
there are those that are out there.
That's a whole nother thing. And then maybe that's where this conversation goes towards.
Right. And it's hard. There are 2 systemic issues that are at play. I think number one, within our own community, Black people to Black people, we do not make it safe for Black people to be themselves authentically. So we don't come out and are embraced with, Black gay communities, because a lot of times people are coming out and like I came out in Maple Heights, Ohio.
Yeah.
There was like a Black bar, one bar in Cleveland that I had to drive damn near 40 minutes to on the highway in order to get to. So a lot of people have a very similar experience where it's even within our own community, we don't make it safe. So, if you can't find comfort and you can't find connection within your own community, when you get immersed into the broader gay community, like we always say, speck of salt, a speck of pepper, and a sea of salt. Like you one of a gazillion. So when it comes to hooking up and then dating and then locking down a relationship, proximity bias comes through. So, like those two things are always in play. You've got like the scarcity within our own communities that don't make it safe for us to be ourselves. And then you have when we get out and into the gay community, we're inundated with a whole bunch of white people, and very few black people. And that doesn't necessarily mean because you black that a person is going to automatically be attracted to you, personality wise, sexually, intellectually, whatever. So I think there are a lot of things that are in play that pit against, the likely coupling of a lot of black men. I can't say whether all of those things have been true for every single person that has, rise to the forefront of media, but vast majority is not people running away from. Let me speak from my own experience. I don't run away from being black, and I don't run away from, my black brothers and sisters. And one of the reasons why we even do this podcast is to amplify our black voices and the voices of minorities within our community, because we just don't have the representation. So if we don't have the representation in media, what is it like in real life? And then you marry that with dating and coupling and hooking up and whatnot. Scarcity is a real thing in the black community, unless you want to deal with DLs. And that's a whole other issue.
I am honestly, I'm very, very just fucking tired of the conversation, if I'm being honest. The truth of the fact is, why does anyone give a flying fuck who is fucking someone else? At the end of the day, relationships in general are hard. Point blank, period. Okay. And if you've been in a relationship, you automatically know that there are going to be communication errors. There are going to be times where you're going to have to, take the back seat. You're going to have to bite your tongue, etc. But a lot of people also don't realize that when you are in interracial relationships, and I'm not just talking about black and white, I'm talking about different races. Okay. There's also going to be cultural differences that are going to also make a relationship that much more harder as well, too. Okay. I am tired of people thinking that, for instance, me being with a white European man, that I am choosing something that's easier or I am selling out. Because the truth of the fact is, I done left plenty of times. He done left plenty of times. We didn't came back, been like, good luck in your future, etc. I've even said on this podcast before, and Corinne was in the group chat when all that shit went down. When I literally said, when I found Fizz, I was not looking for a white man. I was looking for black love. I was specifically looking for black love because I was tired of having conversations and having to explain myself and my cultural background and why I think and move the certain way that I do because of being black. Okay. And at the end of the day, no matter who you are dating, being black is always going to be who you are as a black person. And there's no changing that. And the amount of real conversations that I have to have with my partner and how many times I have to remember I'm talking to someone who truly doesn't understand. So now my emotions, I also have to check, and I don't get to express myself in the way that I really want to express myself, has been tiresome, but it is well worth it. At the end of the day, mind your damn business and find someone else to love and go find your own damn business. It really does not matter who you date at the end of the day.
Yeah. Like, I feel sometimes when these conversations come up is with folks that have had multiple failed relationships. and again, relationships are fucking hard. So there's no point in the finger there because same conversation throughout. There's been many times
99.999% of all relationships fail.
I would get this damn suitcase and be out. Okay, you hear me? So, but it's just like, if people have been in relationships that have failed or are successful, everyone knows how hard it is. So to be shitting on anyone that has finally found love that hopefully is working sucks. Like that like point blank period. Don't care what nationality, ethnicity, what you look like, big, tall, small, in between. If you're going to shit on people that have found love, especially in the gay community where we already know that the PTSD, the trauma and everything of it, of coming out and already feeling like we're not loved growing up in that, and finally have someone that really saying, Carell, I choose you. Jarella, I choose you. DeJuan, I choose you. No matter what they look like, and you want to shit on that, fuck you. Like, because that's ridiculous. Yep. That's so ridiculous to me. And it shows the insecurities and the things that you haven't dealt with yet. It's deep rooted for you. It's deep rooted for the community. I get it. But it's really deep rooted for you because I've already started to work through a lot of that shit. And it's already having the conversations in our relationship. And it's going to be ongoing because, yes, there is cultural differences and things that in this country have put in our minds growing up saying we are less than. However, comment, if you find someone that says you are not less than, you are my equal, we see each other, that is so amazing. So when I hear stuff like this, it triggers me a little bit. But then I'm like, you know what? I ain't got to prove shit to nobody because I know what we have and I know what I did to what it took to get here. And it wasn't me saying, I ain't going to date no black people. I ain't going to date no minority. I just happened to find someone that loved me too. And it was that simple for at least for me. So I hope people get that at the end of the day, it's love. It's love at the end of the day.
You know, it's also the one thing that I do like about conversations like this sometimes, though, is it reminds me of just also how appreciative I am of my partner. Like it reminds me how grateful that I have someone, because there are a lot of people out here that don't have someone. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to sleep with somebody and you going to sleep by yourself.
And that's fine too. Like if you love yourself, you know, first before you sleep with someone that love you. Maybe that's what it is. But you said I'm gonna go sleep with my man, and you gonna go sleep by yourself, home. Next segment.
I do find it ironic that this is a topic of conversation when, again, we within our own community don't make it safe for Black people to even come out. Like, how you gonna get mad? How you gonna get mad when so many Black gay the families and friends of Black gay people have ostracized them to the point where they hate themselves, to the point where they don't even really want to do anything with have anything to do with their family, anything to do with their church, anything to do with a lot of their friends, because they just want to be themselves. And so if they find themselves and they find themselves in a relationship with somebody that's not within the Black community, why is that an issue? Like all of a sudden, like damned if you do, damned if you don't. So damn because I'm gay, but if I'm gonna be gay, I need to be gay with my own kind, so that you can be happy. But you ain't sleeping with them. They could be horrible. You know, like what is we talking about here?
I don't know.
I just like to say, you know, you can test how Black I am if you want to, bitch. You would drown. You play with me if you want to. Play with me if you want to.
That's a word.
That's
a whole ass word.
I still nuck and buck, bitch. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, at Afrotech, Jarrell did score higher than me for sure, but you know my DNA is fighting against my colors, my skin.
We blame that on ancestry.com. But and it just sucks that this keeps coming up in different formations, different iterations every so often, and then you just see our community shitting on the situation. And like you said, it's like, play with me if you want to. If you want to see Black, you're going to see Black, then hell. And I guess I'm gonna go back to, and this is my white partner, my white husband.
And we've also heard the scenario, just take the gay thing out of it. We've heard the scenario in heterosexual couples where, you know, there's a lot of Black women that are complaining there ain't no good men, and all these men that as soon as they get their come up, they go to a white woman or whatever. But and I wish I had the study in front of me, but there were independent studies done on married couples, non-married couples, racial makeup, those that are same race and versus interracial and whatnot. And what they found was that less than 20 to 30% of all Black couples that exist out there in the world, that particularly not in the world, in the United States, less than between 20 to 30% of those are interracial. So this all narrative, like soon as Black men get successful, all they want to do is get a white woman. That shit ain't true either. So it's like, who's pushing this agenda and who's benefiting from this? Because it ain't true.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I love seeing any interracial relationship. Like, honestly, when I see whether it's a Black man or a Black woman with an Asian man, or a Latino person with an Asian woman, or like any races, I love seeing interracial relationships, because being in one, I just know that there's a certain amount of learning that goes on, and there's a willingness to learn. Yes, and there's a certain amount, like, you have to, there's part of you that you have to humble in order to make a relationship like that work. And when I see people like that, part of me has been like, I can fuck with you because you understand how you have to that part, the obstacle. Okay. So I honestly, I love it. But I will say this though, I also really do also love seeing Black love too.
Absolutely.
And 100,000%. And I want to also say this too, because especially when we think about like in media and like TV shows, movies and stuff like that, we only had so few options as far as like Black families and Black love, until like the recent maybe 10 years, parts of that you were very limited, and so at least and growing up in a family where I had a single mother, I also didn't have, successful Black relationships growing up as a kid to really see. My grandparents were the only ones, and even then there were some hiccups and stuff like that happened too. So there's a part of me that also loves seeing Black love, because of the fact that there is already so much struggle for us, that I love when we can also come together and we can not let our trauma be the reason that brings us together, but it can literally just be the advancement of us that really brings us together, So I also rock for Black love too. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. And I think that's something that a lot of people in these conversations need to understand. And I think to your point, Karel, when you said love is love, that's the only way people can really understand. It's not an either or. You can root for Black love and you can have Black love, but you can also reach across the aisle and you can also love across the aisle.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I think one part of rooting for everyone Black is trusting that Black individual, or rooting for anyone that's Black, brown, minority, is trusting that the individual is going to make the right decision for themselves to succeed and advance the culture forward. Mm-hmm. And I think that's part of rooting for someone Black. That's rooting for somebody brown. That's rooting for some, whatever it might be, minority group. And trusting that they've done their due diligence to vet out said human being that's going to work to the success of that relationship. Yeah. And I think once you kind of put that in perspective, it's just like, okay, I know Karel's going to vet out said human being, because at the end of the day, he wants to be a successful Black man. And he's not going to choose, hopefully. And then sometimes you got to go through some obstacles and some situations to get there. But eventually, hopefully, if you get there and you marry someone or you're partnered with someone, whatever it may be, rooting for that Black person, and you rooting for everyone Black also means rooting that they're making the decision that's going to push Black culture forward and Black, so at least that's how I feel.
And also like just this notion that just because, I'm Black mean I'm just like this Black person. Like we say, like Black people aren't a monolith, like we come in all sorts and like shapes and sizes and identities and experiences and all sorts of things. So just because this person, this gay Black man next to me is a gay Black man, doesn't mean that we literally have anything in common. He could have a whole other different path that led to us, and we just simply as individuals, as people, just don't mesh. And that is okay. But that doesn't mean that, but because he's Black, I have to be with him. At the end of the day, I want to be with someone who is going to match my energy. Okay. Match my energy and also push me and encourage me to be more than who I am. Because I'm not the type of person who is okay with just being who I am all the time. You know, I thank you to my aunties over here. I've learned about feelings. You know, I've learned about Anita Baker. You know, I've learned about some things in my life. You know, and if the people that you surround yourself ain't teaching you, ain't uplifting you, and ain't pushing you towards the direction that you're going, it doesn't matter the color of their skin, their sex, or how they identify. Those aren't the people that you should be surrounding yourself with. Point blank. Period.
Yeah. I know and I know we've kind of been on this for a minute. For me, dating someone that's half Lebanese, half Greek, there's cultures of stuff that I've learned from him that I don't think I ever would have learned. And if I was so closed off to just say I'm going to only date Black men, there's so much more to life that I'm able to share to life now because being with someone that culturally was different than I. Like, we went to a Middle Eastern restaurant a couple of weeks ago here in Philly, one of the top restaurants in the city, fire. And I sat there and I was sitting there and I was looking at the menu and I'm like, oh, I've had that. Oh, you've cooked me that before. Would have never probably had half those dishes. And I told him, I was like, thank you for sharing your culture with me, because I never had this before I met you. And I don't think I would have pushed myself to try as much as I have of just Middle Eastern dishes and things like that if it wasn't for him. You know, and so it's just sometimes we get so stuck in this stuff that I gotta find someone that's exactly like me and exactly my culture. That there's so much that, at least for I still believe in God, that God made on this earth that is so awesome and so dope that we box ourselves out and might be missing out on your blessing because you want to just because everyone else told you had to do this. No. Look,
let me tell you, I couldn't date someone like me. I couldn't date someone like me. I couldn't. I will say that I'm dateable.
I'm logging off.
But I wouldn't date someone like me. I wouldn't because I can be a lot. Okay. Hell, I am a lot. And I got a lot of ass too. And a lot of mouth. So at the end of the day, you're going to get what you're going to get 24/7. You know, and sometimes I don't know how to log off. I don't know how to clock out. And some people don't know how to deal. And I found me someone who is a little opposite me, brings the crazy energy like I do. Okay. But at a different frequency.
Yes, there's a little wackadoodle.
I love it.
He is. He really is. But he's a silent wackadoodle. And what the point is
Yeah.
Right. 100%. Them comments, them side comments.
Oh yeah.
What, girl?
1000%. But again, it's just that just goes back. You found the person that it clicks, and so you find that person that clicks, and then you be like, you know what? However, comma, you ain't Black, so sorry we clicking, and sorry that you helping me grow. But since the community wants to say I can only date Black, sorry, ho. No, that's stupid. So. Anyway, so community, let us know, what are you thinking on that subject? Because it's going across the interwebs and right now. Let us know your thoughts. What are we missing out on that potentially we're not even thinking on this perspective? And it could be opposite of what we're thinking. Let us know.
Totally.
Can we talk about something else that some people might be missing out on? I've been waiting for this because the moment I saw this announcement, I said we need to talk about this on the podcast.
Oh, is it gonna be? Hold on. Do we give a damn moment then?
Yes.
Okay, let's say do we get a damn. So maybe let's take a quick little tea break. Let's knock out Ask Your Aunties, then we'll get into some moments to see if we give a damn.
All right.
All right. Quick little tea break. We interrupt this episode for very important information.
That's right. You've been asking for it for a long time, and we have heard you.
Yep. It's been a long time coming, but it's finally here.
Yo,
Aunteas
got merch. Hey, that's right. You know what? We got tees, we got long tees, we got sweatshirts, we got fanny packs, there's just a whole gamut of stuff out there. So go and check that out.
We are so appreciative of your love and support, and we are so excited to launch it. Girl, where can we find it at?
Ma'am, they can head right over to minorityReport.com to check out the selection.
That's right. That's MINORITEA report.com.
Woo! I'm about to go get me some myself. All right, ladies. What time is it?
Ask your
auntie.
You got it, Jarrell?
Yes, I got it. So it says, after a painful dating experience, I dated one of the nicest and friendliest people ever. I don't encounter those folks often in the dating world. The trouble was, I didn't feel seen by this person, so I called it off. I've toiled with regret as I've wondered for months if I made a mistake prioritizing something deeper and intangible over daily kindness and humorous moments. He has been in a relationship for 7 months now, so that ship has sailed. I've been wondering if I was hasty in breaking up after 5 months, or if being seen is something one can attain in a relationship at all. Since you all are in long-term relationships, I was wondering, what do you think it means to be seen by another, and how important is that in the space of a relationship? Would you like to go first?
I feel like you might need to determine what seen means. Honestly, like what's seen for me might not be what's seen for Dewan and Jarrell, you know, and communicating that. And so I'm not sure if from this it doesn't say if you did or not. I guess maybe give advice for both ways. Like if you didn't, maybe that's a lesson you learned. But like, I don't know if I properly communicated that this is how it feels seen. He was a nice person, et cetera, but my love language is X, and I didn't communicate that this is how I need to feel seen, heard, and appreciated in this relationship. Because I do think once you communicate that, a person can learn that, because you're like, okay, I know Carell likes to do this, and it might not be natural for you, but you're willing to put the work in and say, okay, I know, like for Corey, like he loves gift giving. So even though that's not my love language, I know I better give him something here and there, because you know, my presence is your presence. Kiss my ass. But I know at least I listened to him saying, oh, even if it's something with like knowing what his favorite foods are or something like that, or like his is half and half. He has to have half and half for his coffee. For some reason, he always forgets half and half at the grocery store. So if I run out in the grocery store while he's at work, he appreciates that Crow took time to buy him something physical and tangible, as simple as half and half, you know? So he feels that, even though for me, I'm like, whatever it is, it's just half and half. For him, it means you heard me, you know what I like. But then also he'd be like, well, then I want a Gucci bag and all this stuff. So he just likes gifts, period.
Extra.
So I say all that to say, it's just like, even if something doesn't come naturally for me, I've learned over time to do stuff because I know at the end of the day, the person I care about appreciates it. So a lot of times you might have to communicate that. I've had to communicate what really makes me feel seen. And it doesn't mean like it doesn't mean you're going to feel seen 100% of the time either.
That part,
and that's another thing that you just learn with relationships, that they just don't fucking teach you. From your parents don't tell you that you feel maybe a little privileged saying I should be seen all day, every day. That ain't.
And some days your ass look like motherfucking Casper.
Period. Because life be life for them too. You know, we be thinking in our feelings that life be life for us, that, oh, I need to feel seen today, and and if you don't communicate that, life could be life for them. We don't know, might not know in that moment what happened at work that day, or just something might be triggering them. Maybe it's the anniversary when their parents passed or something, like just little stuff like that that's just bearing on them. So that's just little stuff that you learn. So maybe that's the lesson you just had to learn. This, you might have found you a gem that was willing to be like, hey, see you eventually. And you learn to communicate now, and you learn that, hey, once you find someone, especially kind, once you find someone that's kind, not everybody's nice. You might have missed a gem, but now you know what to do for the next steps going forward. And I wouldn't waste your time toiling, because you said that ship is sailed. Stop toiling on 7 months ago, girl. Move on, ho.
Then a whole new relationship.
Oh, girl.
Yeah.
What about you, Dewan?
I agree with a lot that Carell said, especially this notion of like, you won't be seen all the time. But I'm also of my mindset that, like, I firmly believe that anytime you make a decision, regardless of whatever the decision is, as long as you learn from that decision, it's a good decision. Doesn't mean that you did the right thing, or it doesn't mean you did the wrong thing. It's just you made a decision and you decided to go one way versus the other way. And if you learn from that, as long as you learn one thing about yourself, your decision-making process, what's good for you, what's not good for you, it makes it absolutely worth it. And the reality of it is that if you are really feeling this guy, regardless of how nice and humorous and wonderful and so different than everybody else that's out there that this person was, something in your spirit was not connecting with this particular individual for whatever reason. So you can have somebody that is nice and wonderful and beauteous and all these kind of things, but they might not be for you. And so like, it's hard because, you know, to go from being with somebody for 5 months who, you know, had all these kind of really aspirational characteristics, but you didn't feel the connection, and you didn't feel, I don't want to put words in your mouth, you didn't feel seen by that person. There was something in your spirit or whatever that was giving you giving you the courage to say, this is not for me. So the fact that you moved away and then went back into the cesspool of dating and saw all these rapscallions and all these other people that are like that you're normally used to. I mean, it could bubble up a lot of these feelings like, oh, did I make the wrong decision? And I'm here to say you did not make the wrong decision. You made the best decision that you could have made at the moment for you. And regardless of whether this person was in a relationship, you're in a different relationship, or whatever the circumstances are, don't look back. Don't look back. If that guy was for you, then the universe will have a way of bringing y'all back together when it's right for you. But if it's not for you, I mean,
yeah,
the jury is still out on that one. So, wait, excuse me. I should say who? But for you, Anonymous, I have to say that at the end of the day, you know, you made a decision, and as long as you learn from that, ask yourself what Carell said. What was it about what I needed that I was not receiving? And then how then can I use that insight to then fold that into my next relationship or my next, you know, like dating scenario, so that we can be on the same page, and I can be asking for what I need. Because if your version of what being seen means looks a certain kind of way and nobody else knows that but you, honey, we ain't all mind readers out here.
Honey.
We can't
we all Miss Cleos. We can't read nothing.
So facts. So, you know, like think about how you need to move differently, what you might do differently to be more communicative about what it is that you need and what being seen means to you. And then take that into your next dating scenario and be open and honest about it. And then when it clicks and it works, trust and believe you will feel it, and you will have no regrets about some decisions you made about Mr. Nice Guy way back when.
Yeah, I would agree. And honestly, it just sounds a little bit like FOMO, you know, like the fear of missing out. Like you saw someone that you were interested in, and then they found something that works for them, and now you might be questioning it. But to Dewan's point, like that, what that person brought to the table may not have been what you were looking for, and that's okay. And they probably just found something that worked for them and what they were looking for. Just because you date someone and you see them go and find relationships or getting a relationship means two things. One, it does not mean that it was meant for you. And two, it also doesn't mean that they actually found real love. Because we all also know some people who get in relationships just to be in a sake of fucking relationship. And it is dysfunctional. Okay. So let me just say this person could also be in a relationship that is not also going to work for them. Just to be clear, okay? So if you were dating this person for 5 months and it wasn't clicking, you didn't feel it, like Dewan said, there was something there that was your spirit was telling you that this is a no. And I completely agree in the sense of you will know when it's right, because you are going to start shifting yourself, and you'll find yourself prioritizing even just the smallest things that are you by default for this person. You're going to find yourself like just naturally just doing something for that person without even thinking about it. All of a sudden you're like, oh, good morning. Or all of a sudden you're like, oh, let me do this. You're going to buy this person a gift, or, oh, let me just do. You're going to find yourself switching. And that's when you're going to really start noticing that this is something that is probably more meant for what you are looking for. Because the truth at the end of the day, you're gonna need more than kindness and humorous moments to make a relationship last.
Honey.
Okay.
Mm.
You're gonna
Love
need
being
a
kind.
401k. You're gonna need good credit. You're gonna need
All your teeth.
honey.
Okay. The list goes on, honey. It
and a
really do.
beauteous bootiest.
It goes on. There is a list of things that make a relationship work. And so it is okay that you're like, hey, XYZ wasn't meeting or it wasn't being met. And I can also say this, I've dated people as well too. That's how I ended up in my current relationship. Where like I was dating someone for a while, you know, very casually for a whole last year. Okay. Not monogamous or exclusive, you know, just dating. Okay. And it just wasn't clicking. It wasn't clicking. And literally the moment that where I realized it wasn't clicking, I found my person. Literally the day that I realized that it wasn't clicking, all of a sudden, boom, I saw what I was actually looking for, you know? So just be careful that you don't get caught up on looking for one thing, because I was chasing dick, that you don't realize that you're missing your other blessings, that there is more around you than what you may just be accustomed to or what you are just looking for. So
Yeah. So that's a good question. So continue to send your Ask Your Aunties questions to aya@minorityReport.com or DM us and continue to send them in. We need a whole host of new Ask Your Aunties. This is one of the newer ones that kind of flow. Is it flowed in, flew in, flown in? What's the word, Dewan?
yeah, come on,
What's the
Dewan.
right word?
Fluid.
Okay, so it is fluid.
Fluid.
Flued in. So yeah, continue to send them in. And then here we go. Aunties, do you give a damn? What was your question, Terrell? What we giving a damn about?
Okay, so Madonna's going on tour. Do y'all give a damn? And all I'm gonna say is, I think it's gonna be as horrible as her face. You can go.
Damn. You know what? Surprisingly, I give a damn, and there's a couple of reasons why I give a damn.
Oh, I knew. Corey got a story.
Well, one is it's his love language. So shit, bitch. Yes, we going to so I can get some asshole. We just had that whole ass Your Aunties. Hell yeah, we going to Madonna.
Get some ass afterwards, bitch.
And then two, she's actually on my list of someone I want to see before they call it quits. Like I can't be naive to think that even as much as I want to, the impact Madonna's had on just like pop culture, queer culture, etc. And I've kind of like shit on her here and there just because it's just Madonna's easy to do, and I just love to see Corey's reaction more than anything. But she's got some bops. I can't lie. She got some bops that I'm like, okay, I need to go out there and see. She got some bops.
Is she gonna deliver those bops? Do you think she gonna deliver those bops? That's my point.
But my husband wants to see her. Madonna for him is what Beyonce has done for me for coming out as gay and things like that. Madonna was it during that time frame for him. So I can't take that away from him. He's excited. And I'm low-key actually kind of excited. So I actually surprised myself today when I saw that. I actually kind of give a damn. And I'm going to pay this hard-earned money to go see her. So, Dewan, if you want to go, let me see your answer. And then we might need to go see this concert too with Shannon.
Okay. I'm going to qualify this by saying, have I been looking to go see Madonna in a new tour? And I'm going to say, I don't give a damn.
Right.
Okay. Now, mind you, I've seen her 3 times.
Oh,
Madonna puts on a show. She puts on, but she's never been 6,900 before. So
sorry.
Not 6,900 with the new. Okay, you're right there.
So I'm just wondering, is she going to be able to give this? Does she have the same kind of stamina for the same kind of performance that I'm used to seeing when I've seen her in concert before? Do I give a damn? Am I like checking for her, your roster, whatnot? No, not really, but I'll go. So if y'all
I
want to
just
go,
know
let me
she
know. I'll
gonna.
go.
I just
I'll
know she
go.
gonna give y'all. She gonna
Okay.
give y'all Britney on IG choreography, and it's gonna be a boo boo. It's not gonna look cute. It. I don't
We
trust no one
haven't
with a face like that
seen.
no more.
Well, well, I mean, it's not just the face.
It's the butt, the
It's the
titties,
butt. It's
the
the
teeth.
thigh
It's
implants that
the
she had, like, but we also haven't seen her actually perform live
in a
anywhere.
while.
You haven't she hasn't done any kind of like SNL or like anything. So we haven't really seen what she could bring now. I mean,
think
I'm
that's
just trying to think. Can
use it
she?
or lose it. I think that's a
I'm
real
just.
thing. If you ain't flexing, if you ain't exercising, you ain't doing.
I mean, look, even Janet, who's obviously been gearing up for her tour and whatnot, but even before that was announced, she was still like in the studio and doing choreography and like posting videos and whatnot. All you
Doing
see
Essence
Madonna is
Fest
showing
and
her
yeah.
titties, her ass, and her cheeks. That's it. And I'm just,
No.
and maybe there's a grill somewhere in between there, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
But let's not front. It's not like Madonna is like we're not going to see the vocals and all that stuff. So if she still gets
no.
like the top of the line dancers like she's done her whole career,
But that's the
So
point.
then you-
and
so then
she's
you're not going for
proven over
Madonna.
time that she's been able to still have a vision. It might not be implemented for herself right now.
It definitely isn't for her.
But,
The vision for herself definitely was a miss. Okay,
but maybe for the rest of the aesthetic, maybe it's there. And again, like I feel like I just need to see her before she hangs it up, because there's just certain. I'm at the part of my life where I'm like, that's why I went and saw like Patti LaBelle. I still want to go see Gladys. That's why we went and saw Cher. There's just people that I'm like, okay,
apples and oranges. I'm with you. Like there are people that you want to see before they hang it up, but there are some people who should have already hung it up. At this point, the light people need to turn off the lights. Okay, like she didn't miss the disconnect. Give her a disconnect notice or something.
Let the record show it was not me for once.
Yeah. So
Who
okay,
ordered
so
this?
Girl,
Who
don't
asked
give a
for
damn.
this? Who asked for this?
I don't know.
Damn. Okay. I
And
have
not
one
her,
for you.
but not her
I
being
will
like
go
Amy,
see.
and not her doing the little Instagram reel and having Amy Schumer being like, "I dare you to go on tour." Don't. Amy, ain't nobody even checking for you, Amy. So how you ask it? I'm sorry.
I want the original tracks. I don't want like a remix. I don't want all the stuff she's been doing like the last few tours, like trying to reinvent it. We like the songs the original way, ho. If you're gonna be your 40 years of hits, I want to hear the hit. I want to hear the hit.
She better lip sync everything.
I'll be fine with that.
I mean, that's the only way I see this being good.
Yeah, but you know who's opening for it, though? Bob the Drag Queen, going on all the tour dates. Bob the Drag Queen.
That's why he posted a picture on his Instagram today with him and Madonna together.
And that's why he canceled the Sibling Rivalry tour. Like they canceled it 4 days ago. And
right, because I had tickets to go see them.
I remember, yeah.
I had tickets to go see it. And I was pissed.
You gotta get your refund, get your money, and put it towards Madonna now.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna have to get on
so I was like, that's a cool look for Bob. So Bob, come on to the podcast. Let's talk about it before you go on tour, boo. Ow. So I do give a damn on it. I really do. So I have another one. Do you give a damn that Frank Ocean is headlining Coachella?
No. Actually, yes, because I want some more music. Yes, I do give a damn.
That's why I give a damn.
I want some more music.
I do. Got a new album coming.
I'm tired of Nikes, bitch. At least give me Adidas or something, bitch. Puma something,
Fila something,
something. Okay, like my Nikes are wore the fuck out at this point.
Honey, you right?
Okay,
need a new soul and everything. Do you give a damn, Juwan?
Are we supposed to?
Ooh, damn.
No, I mean,
are you a Frank Ocean fan though? Is the question.
I like his music, but I wouldn't say that I'm a fan.
Okay, yeah,
okay,
fair enough.
So just like I like SZA's music, but like I'm not a fan. Like I can appreciate her. I can appreciate SZA. I can appreciate Lizzo. There are people that I appreciate their music for what it is, and that's not shade at all. But like, am I a fan? No, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Have you
if
still
they
not
stopped
listened to
making music,
SZA?
I wouldn't be hurt.
He's a bitch.
When do I have time? I'm still on Beyonce.
Faces for me.
Like, it's just
Honestly, it's been the only album to give me a break from Beyonce. And at this point,
I don't need a break.
and this point, this point, the Fizz bought me a record player for Christmas, and the only thing playing on my record player is Summer Renaissance.
I
by me.
know.
That's the only thing that I'm playing on my record player. So I'm still listening, just not on my phone.
Yeah.
So I got the vinyl of it. So I'm actually
Honey.
playing it out. But
Let me hop in the shower, Beyonce. Let me like hop up the street and go to CVS, Beyonce. Let me go to the supermarket and an Uber, Beyonce. All day, every day, on repeat. Don't matter. I've yet to get sick and tired of any songs, and I've barely skipped a song.
I feel like Renaissance is that album now that be like in 20 years, because he'll be like, yeah, my mama listened to Beyonce every Saturday and I had to clean up the house. That's what that album is gonna be.
You know what? Here's the thing. I wish it would be, but the amount of Black folks that were not riding for the album because it was so dance, pop, like,
yeah.
I wish it would.
Maybe the gay households.
Literally.
Literally.
They're gonna be like, oh, my gay ass uncle was dancing and bopping around the house during Christmas. Like, I went
teaching
to
me how to duck walk and everything.
Look, okay. Look.
Okay, do you guys give a damn about the new reality show, The Real Friends of WeHo?
Next subject, please.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I give it. I feel like I feel like I need to watch it, just the premiere episode, because I feel like people are going to talk about it. But do I give a damn?
Okay.
We weren't asking for it, so no.
Look, I watch a lot of television, but this, no. I'm sorry, I have no interest.
You're not going to watch it?
No.
No,
I have no. I
don't even know any of these people outside of Todrick Hall.
Right.
Like, who are these? I don't know any of those other dudes.
You don't know the other black guy.
The body butter guy.
Butter skin care.
Let me tell you, I didn't even know that was him. I knew of the company, but didn't even know it was him.
And Brad Goreski.
And here's the thing.
You know Brad Goreski?
I know Brad from RuPaul's Drag Race Canada, and he's boring there. He's been boring. He's a cute little, like, he has a cute little dance, but beyond that, personality-wise, like, you watch Real Housewives for the personalities, big, gregarious, all this kind of stuff, and like, I just have no interest.
It's just gays
being messy for
no reason. I just know it's gonna be gays being messy for no reason. And it reminds me, they tried to do this already on Logo. And I forget the name of the show that was on Logo. But they've already, the A-list. There you go. And I actually attempted to watch that. And I was just like, this is literally all the shit that I honestly hate about the fucking community. There's nothing about it that I'm just like, oh my God, this is so funny. Like, no, I'm tired of seeing that shit. Like, it's literally the shit that I'm annoyed with. I would rather see a group of 5 just normal as gays who are just trying to figure out life and like figure out their careers, and like literally like Real World. I would rather see that than see these people who think they are somebody. I'm not gonna say that who think they're somebody, because somebody knows them. I just don't know them. But like, I'm just. They somebody to somebody else, just not me.
They somebody to somebody, mama.
Right.
I'm so good.
This is not on my menu. I didn't order this.
And the reality of it is,
turn it back to the kitchen. Send it back to the kitchen.
And the reality of it is that, like, of what they've shown of the show, it ain't anything. So like, you not even as you are promoting the show, it has no appeal.
Oh, damn. Okay. Do you give a damn about Miley Cyrus's new song, Flowers?
I actually like it.
I give a damn. It's a bop.
It's a bop.
I haven't
it is
honest. I want to.
It is a bop.
It's a bop.
Let me tell you.
And I tried to hate on it, and I was And if
I literally
But you know what?
I literally dragged her a week ago at a dinner party. Literally a week ago. Like I'm talking about like 3 days before the song came out. I was like, I can't stand that girl. Da-da-da. And what was that New Year's Eve like? It was so
and then the song
bad.
came out, you're like,
And I was like,
well,
Miley, damn. And my friend literally was like, and literally on Friday, hey Chris was like, have you heard this? And I was like, oh, it's actually been on repeat. And I feel
It's
so.
a
He was like,
vibe.
and he was like, won't he do it? Look at God. I was like,
she should have saved this song to March.
it's
It
the
would have
summer.
been
It's gonna
went
be
into the
so great for
summer.
summer. I know.
Seriously.
And honestly, if she gives me an album with this feel to it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck with it. I'm gonna
I
fuck with it. It's
know.
like it's kind of like
It's a disco-esque.
Yes, it sits in that kind of like Harry
just
Styles,
a
but
nice
with
little
like
groove
Dua
pocket.
Lipa. Like if Dua Lipa and
Yeah.
Harry Styles had like something
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
that's what it gives me. It gives me that very
Yeah.
dance like
I
Dua,
don't
but it gives
fuck
me
with
that.
the video too much. The video didn't give what needed to be gave for the song.
I
She
loved
looks
it.
great.
I honestly loved it. The moment she put that hair in a ponytail, that was the fuck this shit. And she started dancing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then she
I
was
like the latter part of it. The lead
it
up
was,
to it, I was like,
and then the revenge body. I was like, well, what's the? Because at first, when I first watched it, I was like, why this bitch working out? And I was like, duh. When you break up with someone, what's the first thing you do? You get your
that
shit
killer
together.
body. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
And
looks
then
great.
she looks good. She looks
She
good.
really
I was
does.
like, it gave me. She gave me the shoulders. I said, yes,
Right.
bitch. I said, come on now. I fucked with it. She said, some jazz.
Right. And I'm loving that it seems like the hairdo of this year so far, because I've seen it a couple places, is the Beyonce Deja Vu hairdo.
Yes.
The updo.
The
Like,
wet,
a lot of
the
girls are
wet,
starting
the
to rock
dry
that
wet.
little, like, or
Bob.
no, it's like not even a bob. It's like almost
It's
like
like a top, like not a top
like
knot, but like a.
I don't know what to call it. Like, what did we call it in the back of the day when the black women had to like almost like the community? Let us know. You know what I'm talking about. It's almost like the roller, like they call it something. It's like how your hair kind of almost roll up, and it's kind of like a. I can't think of it. You'll see the video.
Yeah, like
You'll
you
know
roll
what
it up
we're
and
talking
it fans out a little bit. It's actually a good bop. It's a good bop, and I
know Corey was
really,
like, "Who is this?" I was like, "My turn." He's like, "This is a good song." I'm like, "I know." I want to hate on it.
I want to, but I can't. It's not possible. It's not possible. And I played it for Fizz one time, and the rest of the night he was like, "I can buy myself flowers." And here's the crazy thing about it too.
Empowerment moment,
and that's what I love about it. Like, it's not just a breakup song, but it is a self-empowerment. I'm like, I'm happy.
Self-love song.
But if I was single, if I had just gotten broken up with,
oh hell yeah, that would be the song.
This would put me on the right track to get my shit back together. Like.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check back in tomorrow next week to see if he gave a damn after he listened to it. You're gonna like it. Yeah. It's just a feel.
Song. Honestly, I didn't like a lot of Miley Cyrus's music for most of her career, and but
most of it.
No, it's for real. I didn't. But Midnight Sky and that whole album in what 2020 or whatever. That in my.
Is Midnight Sky Taylor?
No, Midnight.
Yeah,
it's Midnight Sky. It's not an album. I mean, it's a song. It's a song.
I liked Midnight Sky. I
love that song.
It is nice.
Wore that song out.
Yeah.
And actually that whole album, one of the things I appreciate about her musical journey is that I feel like with that album, she came into like her own voice and wasn't chasing a trend musically that she did with a lot of her albums in the past. And so I mess with her.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I'm a fan, but like I mess with her.
At Midnight Sky at Midtown Music Festival 2 years ago. She was one of the headliners. She put on a good show. And I thought she was gonna like lose her voice, like because she just kind of has that raspy, deep voice. And I was like, I don't know if that voice is gonna sustain over 2 hours. No, she was singing her ass off by the end. I was like, okay, Miley, I fucks with you. Go ahead, girl.
Right. I like it. I
like how she shape shifts for each album. Yeah, this song is completely different than Midnight Sky. Completely different energy. You know, so I give a damn. But what up, Smithy? We were supposed to see Smithy I was supposed to see Smithy at Mid-Atlantic Leather down in DC. I made a trip. That's the crazy thing living in Philly now. Like I could go like 2 hours one way, go down to DC, 2 hours the other way, go to New York. And so we'll meet up later. He saw the line at Mid-Atlantic Leather and said, "No, ma'am." That was a text. He said he took a picture of it and said, "No, ma'am." And I was like, I came all the way down here because you was gonna go. So, but I went to Mid-Atlantic Leather, got me a little. Here, I'll put it on now. Hold on.
Uh-oh. What you putting on? Was it a hat?
Leather daddy hat.
Damn. Honey. Mm-hmm.
It's fitting. Why is it fitting? Like,
and
for some reason, she's giving. You are giving. What is that?
Yeah.
She just went from Clark Kent to Superman.
There we go now. I told Corey, I was like, I might turn me into a leather daddy. Don't play with me.
Honestly, like seeing you in this hat, I'm like, I can't. Like, why haven't I already seen you in this hat? Now that I'm saying, like,
it's the evolution. I'm shape shifting like Miley.
Look, just as long as like someone else with an M, it's gonna be okay.
But it was interesting because living in Chicago, go to IML and stuff like that. If folks been in Chicago and been to it, so it's similar to that. A little smaller scale. It's not as large because IML is just insanity. This was insane, but IML is just like just a sheer amount of booths and vendors there.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild.
Yeah,
this one was a little smaller, but it was cool. And I think it's probably like the first year that's kind of getting back to the scale that they've been. So
people are traveling,
cool. And there was a lot more specks of pepper too. So there was quite a few black men, quite a few Latin men, quite a few Asian men. That stuff. So I was like, this is cool to see this much of a diversity at this event, because usually it's like you always see the white leather dads and things like that. It was cool to see the diversity in it. So I was like, I don't know if that's an East Coast thing or what, because a lot of times people just kind of fly to all the events. But it was cool. It was a healthy mix of all of us. So
that just reminds me, like a year ago, like this Asian leather daddy like slid in my DMs. He was like, and I was like, "How did you find me? Like, where did you come from?" I'm like, "What? Do you live in Seattle?" He was like, "I live in London." How the fuck did you find me?
He saw that thickness. He saw that thickness on the grave.
He was like, "You were just so fine," and all this other stuff. And I'm like, he was like, "If you ever looking for a daddy, I am here." And I'm just like, "I'm good." I'm like, "Thank you, sir." I'm like, "You,
right? Thank you, sir."
But I'm good. I am okay.
I know that's right. But
I had to give me everything.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be sweating my life away because I'm already sweating the second I put it on.
Honey,
but
that leather,
I don't know. I'm here for it.
She don't be breathing at all.
That's but yeah, I had to pick me a little something up. So Smithy, next time, bitch. Next time. He said, "No, ma'am," and I don't blame him because that line did get crazy out there. I had just got there in the nick of time before it got wild, and he sent me that picture, and then I left like 10 minutes after he said that. And
so you got there first,
like down the block,
and you were already in there, and then the line got bigger after you were in there, and he was like, "I'm not gonna go."
He like drove past because I said, I was like, "Okay, where you at? You said you were gonna be here by like 3:00."
Smithy,
like 3:15.
That ain't cool. I'm just gonna put that out there. You don't have somebody drive all the way down there, and then you in your own city, and you flake out.
I won't put it all on because I already told him, I was like, "Hey, I'm interested. If you're gonna be out there, let me know." Like I was already thought about it because I had just never been to MAL. I was like, "It's right here," and he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go Saturday." No reason to go. He said, "I'm gonna go Saturday." He was gonna go
watch
Megan.
Right.
Like, hey, I ain't need no other reason.
Here I am thinking. Smithy is the one that instigated this whole thing, and this heifer over here. She was like, "Oh,
he lives in DC."
This is what Krell do. Hey, girl, I'm getting ready to get my nipples pierced.
I went that specific day because I was going to Sunday.
I'm getting ready to get my nipples pierced.
I appreciate the sticker, but I was gonna go Sunday, and he said, "No, we going Saturday after we go see the Megan movie." So I was like, "Okay, I'll switch it up. Go Saturday. It is what it is, kind of thing." And then get that picture. He said, "No, ma'am." So it is what it is. It's fine. I got my hat and went on home. I know Corey's like, "You back home?" I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, I was gonna stay down. I was like, "Wait, was that the permission to stay?" Right.
Like, damn.
Well, damn. Shit. because there was something looking kind of good.
I was seeing, I was looking, you know, I was just.
I was like, I was being a nice husband. I came home back home. We had dinner and everything. And he said, "Oh, you back already?" I was like, "Well, damn, bitch.
No, you don't see me. I ain't here.
You don't see me."
Like,
she looked like. Come on, where you at home?
Homer Simpson,
Right?
sliding back in the bushes.
Honey, right then Homer Simpson. And a couple community members were down there too, because they I think I took a picture of like the Capitol building or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, are you here? Are you here?" I was like, "No, I'm gone now." They're like, "Oh, damn, we're out here now." I was like, "Oh shit, it could have been cool to see some of the community members, even outside of Spiffy." But next time. But nothing else on your hearts and minds?
Let's see. No, I'm good.
Okay.
Mind your business.
Honey. Oh, I know. Come here, wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass with soap.
What's
please.
Oh my gosh.
That was
it seemed like every year.
Like,
every year, and it's the same race of people that don't be cleaning their asses and their bodies with soap. I mean,
he said, I wash myself with the water.
He said with water. I was like, bitch, that's why we invented soap, because it wasn't doing a good enough job.
You know what? This weekend, we went to the spa and I had a Korean body scrub for the first time.
They be tearing your ass up.
Honey, if you want to luxuriate and feel like I felt like I was being bathed for the gods, like bathed so that I could be presented for the gods. Like it was.
They got that exfoliating rub. They feel like your skin is falling off.
They do three like textures of these exfoliating gloves, and in between using them, they do like they lather you up with like a body oil, then they scrub you down, and they douse you with like this, like it's like bath water temperature water. It's like not so hot that it's scalding, but it's like not lukewarm. It's like in that really sweet spot, and they just pour it ever so gently across your body to rinse it off, and then they'll scrub you down with the next version, and then they'll add like a body conditioner. They everywhere, lifting the legs up, behind the knees, behind the ears, like underneath your chin, like lift your titty up and like do it all. It's just it took me back to like when my mama and grandmama bathed me. Like how they take that towel and they go everywhere. Like
that's too intimate. I
don't go to the Turkish one. Have you been to a Turkish bath one?
On my list, but that one, that's a little different because they hit you with the reeds on that one.
But it's so like it's nice.
Now not these reflexes. No.
Yeah, they lay you on the Turkish ones. I want to do that next, but that's where they lay you on a marble table and then they wash you down. But then they also like basically whip your body with reeds and whatnot. So it's more intense.
And they get this like almost like pillowcase of bubbles and like engulf your body and like it's everything.
Yeah,
it's everything.
Yeah,
Corey and I've gone a couple times.
Honey, the baths, like the bath things.
Yeah,
I'd rather do that than a massage. And yes, get all in my fingernails. Like
we got one. We went to one where like they bathe you, then you got the option of getting an hour massage. Bitch, you walk out that hole just like.
I feel like a community member right now because I'm like, what? Oh my
yes, it is. Look up Korean body scrubs. Look up Korean body scrubs.
You gotta find you a good Korean body scrub because some of them be too hard. Like you feel like you get like welts and gashes on your skin.
Well, yeah, I have sensitive skin already. I have trust issues already. This just don't sound enjoyable for me.
We'll work on that on 2023. That's the next feeling we're giving for Jarrell in 2023.
Yeah, right. Because she didn't realize that there were feelings that existed except for heat. So there were some other things in life that we might have to introduce.
I'm a cold ass bitch, so I know the cold exists too. Okay, so I'm just saying. I don't know. Fizz might be into something like that. So buy him one and then let me figure out. Because if he says he don't like it, I know I'm definitely not gonna like it. So because both him and I don't fuck with people like that. So
look, we can talk about it when we in Vegas together. How about that?
There you go.
For a day.
If we show up in Vegas, you'll be like, so by the way, I found this spot.
Don't even tell
I
them.
might
Just
try
say,
it.
I'm gonna look.
We got.
I know you're gonna look.
you know
That's
I'm
what
gonna
I
look.
said. I know. That's
Yes.
what I said.
I mean,
Don't even tell
Let
them where it
me-
is. Just
what
say,
we,
we got dinner.
what
for
we
you.
are not gonna have a spa day while we all together. What the hell is we gonna do in Vegas for all damn day? Honey, we
That
gonna
part.
Play
luxuriate.
patty cat, bitch. Look.
So what is we gonna do?
Right. I'm
Well,
not gambling,
community-
and I didn't see all the shows, so
All right,
word.
I'll start getting my mind right.
I'm so mad though, like because like the original time you were gonna go see Adele, we couldn't go, and now she done postponed it a whole damn year. We probably could have went now.
No, but you about
Yeah.
to go on your cruise, so I don't think so.
right.
Yeah.
Oh
you
yeah, it is
still
the same time. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, community, wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass. We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.